Yes, what's going on, people? This is Westside Radio. Joining me right now is one of the best UK rappers in the game right now, Mike Righteous. What are you saying, man?
Westside.
Jeez.
I've always wanted to see that. Westside, yeah, we're in the place. Mike Righteous, Dreamland out now. We got everybody locked in.
Exactly, doing bits with that, and it's the first kind of big project that you've released now, isn't it?
This is the first LP, I think you can call it, debut album that we put on sale.
Came out.
That we've actually made hard copies of. That we've distributed properly, in the HMV and that. My CDs in the HMV. It's quite weird.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's looking nice with that golden background, though, isn't it? That's why.
It does. Yeah, that artwork's looking good, man. I'm really proud of my team there. We did that independently as well.
Yeah. How's it feel to kind of get it all out? Because it came out, last Friday now? So,
yeah.
It's been, it's been just under a week at this point. You can pretty much say it's a week. How's it feel to kind of release it?
There's a sense of elation that I can just feel because the music's out. And a year ago, 2 months ago, all of this literally seemed possible.
Okay, how
it's just a plan before.
Right. So you lot made it quick. You lot did bits, innit?
Well, no. We took our time with it. I mean, we could go. I could say that same quote and say 3 years because but that was the extent of it. 3 years ago I was making it. 2 months ago I was still in the midst of making it.
Yeah.
So it was kind of to know that we're at this stage now. I couldn't fathom it 2 months ago. Let alone 3 years ago when we started making it.
The thing is, you can't. Sometimes when people spend a long time making a project, because obviously the last one was open mic, innit?
Yeah.
That was 2013.
Yeah. But I think people get misconstrued. They think I've been spending this period of time from now to open mic making this debut album.
Yeah.
I've been spending my whole life making this debut album. I started making this debut album when I was 15. There's songs on this debut album from when I was 15 that I held back that I knew had to be on a debut album because they were too good just to put out into nothing.
Is that what? That's why one's called 2005, right?
Right, because the whole Dreamland album is a conceptual, conscious album that documents my life story from 2005 to this very year.
Yeah.
So there's no way I could drop it 3 years ago because there wouldn't be enough life lived.
Yeah, so
I had to drop it now.
Yeah, because you need to have that experience, obviously. Especially when it's a debut project as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then everything that I was writing around these songs, you got to think I was writing songs around songs, like the main songs. That one's for the album, keep that. Yeah. And all these other songs were getting put on Yob Culture, Campaign, Open Mic. So think about the levels that are in that. I think about the levels that must have to be in this for this to be held back.
Trust me, that's mad. How many songs did you kind of have overall? Obviously, with the songs that you kind of released before, like you said, when it came to actually saying, all right, cool, I'm going to sit down and drop these 18 tracks. How many tracks did you have before you cut it down?
I had the tracks before I had the tracks.
Yeah.
I had every single song in my head before I even wrote the song. I knew the story before the story went. I knew the story.
Yeah.
So I just had to piece it together in music.
Okay.
So until I achieve that with the album.
See, that's bad, you know. You proper thought this through and it sounds good. And you know what I mean? The whole project sounds good. And
yeah. I think people will appreciate time and effort, you know what I mean? In a century where things are just sort of thrown together and just given to the people, because technology's so advanced these days, we don't really need to try to shoot a really good video.
But the situation is true where you got loads of people that are just dropping bare stuff and you're just like, yo, it's the quality's not there, innit? Sometimes it's good to go away for a little bit, drop the occasional track, feed the people, then give them a solid quality project, innit?
Yeah, man. Yeah, and I think it stands out when people do, you know?
And obviously for you, obviously the results are going to come out tomorrow, but reaching for that top 20, even top 10. Yeah,
so for me, it was kind of an unexpected time. And I feel like God always, gives me a really hard time because he knows I'm really hard.
Yeah.
So basically, that's what happened. So it had to be, when I dropped my debut album, it just had to be when Michael Bublé, Lady Gaga, bloody... If I showed you the list, you'd be like, oh no, fair play. But to look at it from this angle, I'm the only independent artist.
Yeah.
I'm the only UK rapper. And... Well, I'm the only UK rapper and I'm the only independent artist. And I'm from Margate, not even from the city.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've got no real support from like the scene.
Well, yeah.
No one's really saying like championing me, saying like, look, like he's come from that side of the land and he's done what he's done. Anyone can kind of do it. I'm not saying, oh look, I've just dropped a new tune.
Yeah.
Why aren't you tweeting it? Because it's not like not everyone should tweet everyone's tunes. But when there's a little impactful moment within our community, our UK community, and when we say UK, we should speak across the board, like from Whitstable to bloody, you know, Northampton, from Northampton to London, like everywhere, should be everywhere included. That's the UK thing, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I feel like with all that taken into consideration, to see me, to even get a top 20 in October when we're this close to Christmas, amongst all these other artists, when I ain't dropped an album for 3 years.
Yeah. It's true. It's mad when you think about it as well.
When you put it into that context, I think it's a massive, massive, massive accomplishment.
Yeah, and what you're saying as well, like even being from Margate as well, that's Kent, isn't it?
Kent, yeah. Like, I'm on the crust, keys.
Yeah,
I'm like that little bit of burnt crust on the toast, man.
Raw, yeah, that burnt bit still, yeah.
Yeah, that little burnt bit on the edge. That everyone just sort of rips off and just dashes away.
But you know what? Yeah, obviously you kind of answered it yourself, yeah. But why do you think you're underrated? Because I feel like for you, I've been listening to music for like a while, innit? And even my mate first put me onto your music because he was like, I think you were I might have been at SBTV time ago, like 2011. You were like by some brick wall. And you were rapping. Yeah. And he was like, oh yeah, like, have you heard about Mike Ratchet? He's sick. I was like, heard of, haven't listened to it. And I was like, actually, this is sick. And then eventually, like, you obviously, there's so many people in art, like the industry's small, innit? And having people that are not backing you in that sense, obviously you kind of know who's backing you and who's not, innit?
Well, yeah, I do, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it's just a situation where even though some people might not tweet it now, they might not see it, but they might see it next week. And when you keep rising and keep doing bits again, people gonna regret not hollering at you, innit? Yeah,
but do you know? To be honest, I don't want anyone to feel like there's any hostility towards them, and I do want people to kind of know that these guys are like a little bit full of when they say things like, you know, this is when it comes to their project and they're saying do this for our scene, do this for our scene. I just think I am about expanding the scene because I'm from another part of it, and I do not want to see more artists like me just being left to rot in their end when they're really good. And sometimes it can be frustrating, and I think that's a bigger part of why people haven't taken to me so nicely is because in the beginning, if you remember in the beginning, they were but I was sort of aggressive, young, on this, you know what I mean? I dissed Westwood, I was just on stuff, people couldn't say nothing to me, I was having a bit of a tough time, I thought I was the dog's knackers. I just thought I could run stuff. Yeah. And eventually, like, you grow up, you get wiser, you get older, you get mature, and you think, not just, do you know what I mean? The perception is kind of different. I think a lot of people might think I'm a bit of a nutter.
Yeah. But I think...
Actually, generally, deep down, goodbye, and I want what's best for the whole community. Rap community in this country, because it's starting to get so much heat. Yeah. It's important that we spread that heat across the country. And it's good because we are seeing it now. Yeah. Like 2 years ago, would you ever have a Liverpudlian MC getting heat, getting shouts from men like Chipmunk and people like that?
Definitely not, no.
Now you've got people like Trends that get 45, 50,000 views in a day because of those accents.
Exactly. And the thing is, like, obviously when you see people and they're doing that, you're happy for them, but at the same time you want everyone to get along. Obviously rap is competitive, innit? But at the same time you want to make sure that, you know, both parties are good, innit?
It's hard to remove like yourself from yourself and look from like sort of within yourself and just say like, really good for everything and everyone.
Trust me. Right, you know
what's just good for me and my people and myself.
Trust me.
And I feel like that's how a lot of people think sometimes.
I think it's a learning curve, innit? Obviously, like the amount of love that the UK rap and grime scene is getting at the moment is only like a year and a half, 2 years old now. So it's still in the early phases. We kind of have to wait and see what happens as it goes on. Do you know what I mean?
It's
still young. But you know, going back to you for a minute as well. So the album is called Dreamland. Now I had to do some research because at first I was like, why is it called Dreamland? Then I realized it's a theme park in Margate, innit?
Yeah.
So why did you call your album Dreamland then?
It's not necessarily after the theme park. I think with the whole taking into account what I was saying about the story and the significance of your story as an individual. Yeah. Like you've got to visualise the fact that you get up every day and every step you take is another another picture on that blank canvas, another sentence on that margin on that line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're painting your story with your footprint, so to speak. So for me, it was like that was the title of my story, Dreamland. It couldn't represent my ends any better, and it couldn't represent my story any better. It's about achieving your dream, finding it, depicting your own reality, and sort of not letting anyone else tell you any different, and not knowing the direction you're going in from the beginning, and slowly discovering what's important and who you are and where you are.
That's true. Well, yeah, you got that album, you got the answer down so bad. Like, I have nothing even to say to that, man. I just got to salute.
Man, you can tell what people know when they speak to me, bro, that I've been thinking about this for a long time. This isn't something that's just like, this isn't for me just an album. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think for everyone else it's just an album. I really think it's for the first time in like sort of UK rap, people are getting an album that they're actually being like, whoa, this is what an album should sound like.
Well, the thing is, like, sometimes going for 18 tracks is a risk, but I think for you and for how you've kind of spaced the tracks out, like, it works. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes you might lose it like halfway. Sorry, my voice is just gone. Sometimes you lose it like halfway through, and then you bring it back at the end. But with this album, it's nice. It's consistent all the way through. Like, you know, you go from 2005, then you got the song 4 Lines Deep as well, which is so like that's a mad. Even though it's like a little like a smaller song, isn't it? It's like more of an interlude.
It breaks up the album. It's a good interlude, and it's honesty. It's pure. It's like, it can't get realer than that, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it works well, and that's why I have to say, like, shout outs to you and shout outs to Dreamland as well on the project.
Yeah.
Now, no worries, bro. Like, now when it comes to the signed copies, can fans still get that? Because I know you were doing that as well.
Yeah, I was being a bit tight. You know what I mean? Like, didn't want to sort of discredit sort of exclusiveness of the whole thing, so I was like banging onto my team, like, take them down, stop selling signed copies. And then I just thought, I see all these tweets of people like, well, didn't get a signed copy, well, only just got paid the other day, and I was just like, how can I do this to you, man? I was like, sell signed copies again. So I literally, because it was a headache for me, because I don't want to go drive the and sign 500 CDs, I was being like that. But truthfully, like, I couldn't do anything more for my fans, I'm not even calling them fans, for my family, than go and sign 500 CDs and then get that, because that's personal to them. It makes everything even more personal. So I signed another however many last night. I signed loads. But they are available. You can buy them from my website. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You know what it is? Like, having the signed copy, like, when you go to a shop and you just buy a normal one, you just bought the album, innit? But like, when you get a signed copy, you've got someone on there, and it's like, raw. Like, I've got something that, like, you know, Mike's held in his hand. People get gassed again, and the thing is, it's always the core fan base that you've always got to look back to, innit?
Yeah, and I feel like I've got a massive core fan base. I think a lot of people have this sort of fan base,
like a fickle fan base,
a small core, and then around it is like sort of massive, like, just people that know about you. Yeah. I mean, those people that love your record and play the club will know the words to your record. But where mine is sort of the opposite. None of them fans. My face is just hench.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know what? Like, I'd rather have that smaller or big core fan base.
100, bro, because you know what? They'll support me to the day I die.
Trust me. And the thing is, you can even tell, because sometimes with, like, obviously when you look at social media and that, even though it might say, like, you got thousands, it depends on how many people show you love when your projects drop, as we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, and I've got this whole outlook of, like, I'd rather fire one person than entertain 1 million, and that's on my life, mate.
No, you got this, like, whole spirituality, zen, and motivation down to a T, you know.
Yeah, but that's just how it should be, bruv. Like, I honestly think in music, that's how it should be. Music is the only medicine in a world of spiritual and emotional trauma. You don't go to the doctor and say, I'm going through a bit of heartbreak, doc. My chick split up with me. Nah, man, you bang on one of your favourite songs. Yeah. You roll up, you get a little drink, and you sit there and you get it off your chest. Yeah, well, unless you're going Jeremy Kyle, you know, that's a different story altogether. Unless you're on Jeremy Kyle, that guy just exploits people. He is the worst of humankind, honestly. Right, don't. You have to look in his face to see how despicable that person is. Right, don't go on to fully diss man, you know, before Jeremy Kyle tries to come Margate, you know. Sorry, man. I ain't got no love for that guy, mate. But you know what we should do? Let's get into 2 tracks. So let's get into Survivor, and then let's get into Be There as well. So you introduce it for us. I'd love to introduce this. Thank you, Westside Radio. is the first track of the story. It's entitled Survivor. It's about me not really knowing where I'm going, and then the light coming to me discovering who I am. That is the bright light from the lamppost shine from my window and gave me enough light to write, and that's how I found you. And that's how I found it. This track, Survivor, beginning of Mike.
That was Be There, Vivienne Westwood, and Tone's on that as well. So Tone's on both. He's on Survivor and he's on Be There as well. And like, obviously, Vivienne Westwood. Let's talk about Vivienne Westwood first, did it? Like, that I think that surprised me. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I was like, Vivienne Westwood on a Matt Ratch's track, on anyone's track. How did that even come about? Like, what was that about?
Well, for me, that was the desired effect. I think people seem to think that I thought that this was going to be like rap record of the month, but I just thought about the perception of it and like cause it to create that sort of like publicity with like getting her on it. But at the same time, on the album, and speak some righteousness. You know what I mean? That was what really sold it. And the way I met her was through that bit of empowerment. She needed an advert. She invested in a company called Fully Focused to film an March. That happens annually in London. There's like 200,000 people justice, poverty, climate change, everything. So, yeah, they contacted me and said, Mike, we need you to do this. We want you to do a spoken word.
Yeah.
You could film it at the time and film it and we'll lose it. But the whole idea is to sort of channel through to younger people that might not actually care about climate change. I was like, right, how can I sort of introduce this sort of older sort of knowledge to like a younger crowd?
Yeah.
I thought, right, boom, let's do this. So we done that. I had to educate myself. I didn't really know about it myself.
Yeah.
So that night, I studied. You can listen to the spoken word. It's called Time to Act on the internet. And Vivienne, I met so she invited me to join her group, Intellectuals Unite. I joined the group.
Yeah.
And then we was at the pub and she told me she had a rap written and I was like, how sick, I've got an album coming out. Would you like to jump on it? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, sick. And then she come to the studio the next week and laid down her bars in one take. And I was like, well, thank you very much.
Right. Yeah. She's out there going to take people's jobs, you know? Like...
Bro, she came in, laid it down in one take. I had studio sessions with reputable MCs that I can't say names yet. Yeah. And they took to do a 16 bar.
Yeah, say no more, man. I would say Miguel like Vivienne. That's what we can say. Like, trust me. Like, all right, so talking about then Tone, yeah. So obviously the two main tracks that you got, obviously Be There and Survivor, which Tone's on. And they sound a bit more like, you know, commercial friendly. And then you move to other tracks like On the Mic, and that's a bit more like core fan base, isn't it, really? That's what I think, innit, personally.
Yeah. Well, that was the sort of angle, you know what I mean? When I met Tone, I think I finally found someone that was able to make music that had commercial viability, which I know the album had to have if it was going to broaden its fan view it, like if it was going to broaden its sort of audience. Yeah. And I knew Tone had that in a way that I could actually blend with, rather than me just getting thrown into a studio, how it usually works when I was being published by Sony. Here you go, here's a producer that you've never met in your life before. He's going to produce you a hit.
Yeah, it's awkward.
I don't know. We haven't really got that kind of chemistry. I've never met him in my life. Who is he? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He's just sitting there eating pizza. So off the back of that, I kind of knew that wasn't going to work. So I got out of that, and the Tone again came to me. As soon as I come out of that sort of deal, I would set up an email address, MikeRighteousBeats@gmail.com. Doesn't work now. Don't send beats to it. I got flooded with beats, and I literally sat there, went through each and every one of them, and I discovered Tone, and I was like, "Who's this guy? Hidden little gem in Thetford." Yeah. It was really weird because he's like my doppelganger.
Is he?
He's like, well, not really. He doesn't look like me or sound like me or talk like me, but he's like on the other side of, he's like by Norwich in Thetford, like another really, really small community. Okay. Just making music, and he's built his own studio. Shout out to the Hideout. And he's just got raw talent, and I was just like, that's where the hunger is. That's where you've got to search these little nook and crannies in the UK to find these unexplicable talent. You know what I mean? It's in there. So I just thought, I'm going to bring him straight through. I'm going to put him all over the album. Yeah, and the thing is, it works. Like, obviously, it adds, like we were saying, you obviously got a chemistry with him now, so you can go back to him and work with him as well. Oh, he helped me produce that whole. Raw.
The whole album.
I got an executive producer again, Ollie Twist. He works in Twickenham. He helped me. He co-produced the whole album with me.
Yeah.
Because we mixed and mastered it ourselves.
So it's literally like not like a local source, but it's like a very grassroots like made album.
Yeah, independent. We didn't let no one poke or prod or just say, hey, I think this is best for you, when they don't know what's best for us. We did take advice. We're not like, I'm not throwing up all barriers and saying no one can chat to us, we're the greatest. But nobody knows us like we know us. The people that I started this with, who built the foundations. You can't come up to me, take over a property and tell me that you know what it's like right underneath the brickwork. Because you don't. Only the people that built that brickwork can tell you what that brickwork's made out of.
If you bring it back then, so say for example, if this gets top 5, hopefully, fingers crossed as well, say this gets top 5, right, and then you check a new email address, or they reach out to your management and they're like, all right, cool, we want to sign him, like a new record label want to sign you, are you telling them straight no? That's
no, not necessarily. I'm waiting. I could sign a deal with the right deal. I could get in a deal that says, "Hey, like, well, at least you make one album for us. That's your next album. We won't give you no advance. We'll pay for the stuff. We'll pay for the studio. We'll pay for the videos as you want it done.
Yeah.
Then you know, when you make the sales, you pay that back, and then we get a small percentage of that, and then that happens for a year, and then you go back to owning all the rights. That's quite a good deal.
That's right, yeah. But who's gonna actually do that? I think that's in Dreamland, fam.
Yeah, that probably is in Dreamland. But you know, I honestly believe that will come when it comes. That's my deal.
Yeah.
If you don't want to give me it, then I won't take a deal.
Yeah, well, boy.
I'm all right on my. The only good thing about me is I'm all right on my own.
Yeah.
And I know that now.
Well, that's the thing. Sometimes you've got to go through your experiences to learn that and know that, innit?
Exactly, man. Exactly. I'm 26 now, and a year ago I was really frustrated because I thought, I'm 25. Everyone's coming up around me, trying to do me in.
Yeah. But
really, patience, mate, because your time comes. If you believe that, honestly, it will happen. Your time is set in stone. Every dog has his day. Things come around, and if you truly believe in it, it will happen. And if you truly work hard, it will happen. And if you do not, the only people that don't find out are the ones that give up.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. The thing is, even if 5 people are listening or watching a video or something like that, they're 5 core people. That'll be 10, and who knows? In a year, that could be 1 million. Like, do you know what I mean? It's literally as simple as that.
100.
Now, one thing, we'll talk about as well before we get into the next track is on the mic. Well, no, on the mic as well. We're gonna talk about that. Sorry, not that. Tempo of the dance. Yeah. So you're talking about how in the track, like, even your brother didn't believe in your dream at one point, right? So
yeah, like
when doing that, that must have taken like a big blow to you as well. Anyway, like, did you kind of just like brush it off and then just keep moving, or is it like,
No, to be honest, I really couldn't. And it was a great thing because at the time I hadn't written a song in a long time.
Yeah.
And I was starting to question whether I still had it. And then that got said to me, and that was like a low blow.
Yeah. It's harder when family tries to say it, isn't it? Yeah.
Huh?
It's harder when family say it as well, isn't it?
It's a lot harder when family say it, especially when you're quite disconnected from your family anyway, and the one member of your family that you feel a true connection with, and it is purely, and you understand this as well, purely out of his own social frustrations that he is saying this.
But the thing is, it's like, but the thing is, at the same time, if it's like frustration from both sides, then it's not meant. Do you know what I mean?
No, but look at the beauty in that. That song is one of the best songs, most loved songs off the album.
Yeah, it's a big song.
The final track, and it finished the story of the album.
Yeah, because it sits nicely because obviously On the Mic's after it, but that's like a separate song in itself, isn't it? Like, you know what? Before we continue, let's get into another track. Let's get into On the Mic. So you introduce it for us again.
Yeah, this is On a Mic. This was just to make sure everybody knows that Mike ain't got no friends on a mic, and I might just send for your whole ends if you're hype, okay? I don't need to say any more about this track. The video's out now on SBTV. This is On a Mic.
Yeah, trust me, sending for enough people. That was On a Mic. I had to
the shoe fits, wear it.
Well, it's a bit deep. It's a bit deep though. If someone's from like an area where they're the only artist, they send for you and then you just shell the whole town like they don't know you in it. That's deep. Do you know what I mean? Shout out to
basically, that's what's gonna happen. So
if
any artist ever comes for me, I'm shelling your whole end.
Shout out to Whitstable, fam.
Yeah, wizards of all, fam.
All right, so talking about from exactly the album is kind of going from 2005 to 2016. You know, you should have actually. I don't know why I just thought about this now. You should have called the album Dreamland 2005 to 2016.
Do you know what I was going to call it? I was going to take off the explicit content and put like an 18 sticker, and just say actually present it like a movie, because that whole album cover is designed to look like a sort of 60s sort of Quentin Tarantino post-apocalyptic sort of horror scene sort of movie cover. And I had a big title in there. It had some eyes at the top before, and it was all kind of horror-esque and like movie. And we was going to call it like Dreamland, a film by Mike Righteous.
Okay. So what made you change it then?
Because I feel like art should be always up for interpretation, and that's a bit too on the nose. I feel like it may have been done before, and I don't want to discredit any of the good things that people can say about it by giving them something bad to say about it. So I'd rather have just took every one of them thoughts and kept them in the unconscious realm of ideas where they should live forever and not be born. And what I did instead is just release the album artwork with no eyes, no artwork, no title, no name, no cover, no title, nothing. Just a picture.
Just some golden amusement park. It was mad. It was a bit mad. I was like, when I first...
It's a bit mad, but you got to think, the only artist that ever have done that is Jay-Z and Kanye West.
That's true. Watch the throne.
And I'm not saying I'm Jay-Z or Kanye West.
But it's your interpretation, isn't it?
Did that.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's what you want to do with your projects. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, when I first saw it, I was kind of like, how you're saying it and how your first idea was to now, I didn't even think that. For me, when I first saw the artwork, I was like, it looked trippy, innit? That's it. It just looked like I didn't really see. I wasn't even focusing. I wasn't looking more at the clouds than the actual amusement park. I
think that's the good thing about it. Everyone looks at something different. Like there's something there to sort of. Everyone's got a favourite piece, and that's even about the artwork. Some people like the little guy standing looking across to the scenery. Some people like the scenery. Some people just like the sea. Some people like the pier. Some people like the sky. Some people just like the colours. Some people look at it and they just don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, trust me. Like I think a lot of people were doing that at first, and then eventually they start breaking things down. They're like, oh yeah, this. I didn't even see the little man looking across. So there you go. I have to look at the artwork again.
Yeah. Go check it out, man.
Trust me. So off the back of the album, then obviously it's still fresh. I'm sure you got other plans. I know you're in the studio at the moment. Headline show, remixes. What are you saying?
Headline show, I'm there, I'm about. Remixes, I want to jump on some. Like this year, it's all about jumping on as many bars. All these like new hot tracks that are coming, I expect like Mike Righteous remixes. Album tour to be announced.
Okay.
All of that.
So you move it, so more focusing into 2017 now as well?
Yeah, more perseverance, man. That's what it's got to be about. I found myself, I am myself, I know myself. Now it's time to stay myself.
Trust me. You're going in and you know what you're talking about, and everything's working, everything's kind of going to plan right now from what I can see. Obviously, you know, it's your life, it's your album, it's your project. So that's the key. So what I'll do is the key. What I'll do, again, as soon as I say key, I thought DJ Khaled straight away. Need to move away from that bit. So for the final plug, obviously Dreamland is out. Where can people get it? Where can people get it?
People can get Dreamland from iTunes. People can get Dreamland from Amazon, Google Play. Actually get Dreamland in HMV, which is pretty weird. So go to HMV and you can get signed hard copies from my actual website, which is MikeRighteous.com. You can get signed copies. But they're limited time only, so you can get them. They're up there now. And what I want to do is urge everyone to support people that are local to you, that are good artists, you know what I mean? Don't be afraid to stand by the people that you think are really good.
There you go. You've heard it from Mike Righteous there, you know. Thank you for chatting with me today, man. Appreciate it.
That's all right, bruv. No, anytime. Next project, anytime you guys want to chat, I'm right here.
All right, well, got the digits now, innit?
You got my number.
Yeah, no sliding the DMs, innit? Just send, just that casual standard. Yo, what's up? Yeah, what you said? Yeah, cool.
I got you.
All right, I'm gonna let you finish it. So, final track we're gonna play today is "Tempo of the Dance," which is the end of the album, as well. Yeah. Well, the end of the story part of the album, not the actual. Yeah. So, if you introduce it for us.
This is my favourite track off my debut album. Tempo of the Dance, produced by Ollie Twist. The video is up on SBTV right now. Thank you, Westside Radio. Peace out. This is Mike Righteous. You're listening to Tempo of the Dance. Dreamland out now.